Before this video gets started, I want to get two things clear. One, yes, this idea was derived from Bulletberry. Two, I am making a lot more of these videos where it's just my commentary and gameplay in the background. I'm really enjoying making them, so I'm going to keep making them. If you guys have any other ideas for content I can make, or any ideas to make the gaming videos more interesting, leave them in the comments. But this is going to be 3 random things I dislike. Now, these are going to be nitpicky, and they're going to be random. So be ready for this video to be all over the place, but that's just my style. So, the first thing is going to be when companies round up the capacity of their hard drives. Now, this might sound crazy, but what drives me crazy is when companies advertise, like, say, when I had my Xbox One, it advertised a 1 terabyte hard drive, alright? Now, you would expect to be somewhere in the realm of 1024 gigabytes, right? Nope, it was like 730. Nearly 300 gigabytes cut off. And if we go in here, you see my file explorer. I have 3 hard drives, right? My local disk is an SSD, and it's supposed to be 500 gigabytes. Go into properties, 464 gigabytes. Just advertise it as like a freaking... I think companies should round down on the hard drive amount. In that sense, it'll make people more happy. But you may say, oh, some of it is for formatting the drive. Nope. It says the capacity, which does not include the amount it takes up to format. It does include the amount it takes to format, is 464 gigabytes, which is it's the full capacity. Okay. Now let's look at my other hard drives. This programs drive is a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's advertised as 1 terabyte. 931 gigabytes. In my opinion, they should advertise it as a 900 gigabyte drive. That way, it'll make people more relieved that it's that they have some extra room to spare. Now, lastly, we have my access drive. Now, this is mainly for my gameplays, but this drive is said to be 3 terabytes. 2.72. Now, yes, this doesn't matter too much since I just use this to dump all my videos on it, but that's nearly 300 gigabytes cut off. Are you serious? This really drives me crazy. And even so, I once read in the news that Samsung unveiled the world's highest capacity hard drive ever. It was a Samsung 16 terabyte hard drive. No, it's actually a 15.36 terabyte hard drive. Are you kidding me? You advertise it to be around 600 gigabytes more than it actually is. This entire thing drives me crazy. I mean, not only do companies milk their customers into thinking that they're getting more storage than they actually are, but a lot of people fall for it. And this is a bit of a nitpicky one, since really 931 gigabytes is still pretty much a terabyte, but I think they should actually put, like, the amount of storage on their drives that they advertise and not round up in their advertisement. Or what would be easier and make more people happy is if they rounded down. Advertise a 450 gigabyte SSD when it's 464 instead of 500. That would make people more happy. And really, this entire thing just drives me crazy. We're keeping it nice and consistent with the second one with another hard drive related issue. Now, you realize for a while that the standard for a lot of computers was a 120 gigabyte SSD and a 1 terabyte hard drive. Yes, I'm still rocking a 1 terabyte hard drive. I do want to upgrade to 2 terabytes, but I'm just saving up. So, the standard for a lot of people was a 120 gigabyte SSD and a 1 terabyte hard drive. So, you really, on your SSD, you just had enough storage for your basic programs and your OS. Well, let me tell you, how many programs will not give you the option to download it on any other drive besides the C drive, which is your default drive. This drove me crazy when I had a 120 gigabyte SSD. That's why I went out and spent the money on a 500 gig drive to get enough to put all my programs on it. Like, let me just tell you, I get requiring, you think that the drivers should be on the same drive as the operating system. I get it. But, give us the choice. Like, when I called NVIDIA because I didn't have enough space for drivers, the guy literally said, "Yes, sir, it is impossible to put it on any other drive." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "We recommend putting it on the same drive as the operating system." Recommend? Seriously, recommend. Now, really, this is in my opinion, a big issue. In my opinion, the standard for SSDs is moving up to 256 gigabytes, but I would still like to see more companies giving consumers the option. And if you caught my Change Your Support Adobe video, then you would have heard me say that Premiere can only be installed on the default drive. I had to plug a flash drive into my laptop, which has Premiere on it, and then copy it onto the D drive, which this just drives me crazy. The last and final thing is a big one. Over-the-phone tech specialists, because, man, oh man, is this a nightmare. So, not all over-the-phone tech specialists are horrible, but the vast majority are. I would say I've had a bad experience with around 75% of over-the-phone tech specialists. Now, what am I talking about? Well, from what I've perceived, a tech specialist and someone who is in customer support is a kind of low-paying position. Now, this is kind of annoying because whenever I call about a product, they're reading from a book instead of judging from experience. Now, this is super annoying because not only do you have to go through like 6 pages of robots in order to get to an actual human being, but you then have to deal with them reading from a book instead, listing off things that you've probably already done. Heck, really, most people who, like, help you over the phone have no idea what they're talking about. Like, I will bet you that all the people that I was talking to when my Vive broke, they probably don't even know what the Vive is that well. Now, this is just really annoying, but I have to say, I have ran into 1 or 2 over-the-phone tech specialists that are good. When I called Elgato when my HD60 wasn't going through, it was pretty good, and they just told me that the driver was actually in the software, and even if you don't use the software, you have to download it to have it functioning. That was good. But when you call, you see, a lot of companies have like this listing on their website for like what to do when your product isn't working. And when you call and they literally read off that listing, it's like if you go to the website and it says, if your RAM isn't working, try with 1 stick. If it also isn't working, then reinstall the drivers, and then you call them and they literally tell you to do the exact same thing. This is so annoying. And I'm telling you, in a perfect world, tech specialists would be a higher paying position, and so that the people there would have to go through other positions to get there, so that they would know what the heck they're talking about. That, in my opinion, would be a better idea. And really, customer support in general is annoying. So many companies try to screw you over, and it's just pitiful, if you know what I'm saying. I really just really, if any of you were offended by anything I said, just call me up at 1-800-CYBER, and we can talk. You just have to go through my 10 robot AI assistants before you can get to talking to my dog, and then you can get to talking to my great-great-grandma, and then you can get to talking to my cousin's brother's ex-wife, and then you can talk to my cat, and then you can, after that, you can get a 1% chance to talk to me. Sound good? Good.